if you ask any artist, the music is a success upon creation. When you give it to somebody like a Rolling Stone or a Vibe and they start critiquing it.
He was a musical genius, a rebel, a legend, who changed the sound of music forever. Prince wasn't just an artist, he was a symbol of freedom, of expression, and of perfection. But on April 21st, 2016, the world stood still. Prince was found unresponsive in an elevator inside his Paisley Park estate. And just like that, he was gone. How could someone so disciplined, so spiritually connected, so full of life, die so suddenly, so tragically? What really happened to Prince before he died? This is the full story, the rise, the brilliance, the isolation, and the heartbreaking end of one of music's most powerful icons. Prince Rogers Nelson was born on June 7, 1958, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. His father was a jazz pianist. His mother was a singer. Music ran in his blood. But his childhood wasn't easy. Prince's parents divorced when he was young. He moved from home to home, sometimes even living in basements or with neighbors. By age 7, he had written his first song. By 19, he released his debut album, For You. He played every single instrument himself. Prince wasn't just talented, he was obsessed with sound, with control. He pushed boundaries in funk, rock, soul, and pop. And in 1984, everything changed with the release of Purple Rain. The album, the movie, the tour. He wasn't just a musician, he was a movement. But behind the glam, he was also someone who struggled deeply with trust and with pain. Prince wasn't just an artist, he was a warrior for ownership. In the 1990s, he famously battled Warner Brothers over control of his music. He changed his name to an unpronounceable symbol. People mocked him, called him crazy. But he wasn't crazy. He was ahead of his time. He believed artists should own their masters, their image, their destiny. And he fought like hell to protect that. Privately, Prince was shy, spiritual, and incredibly private. He didn't drink. He didn't party. He lived a clean lifestyle, at least that's what the public thought. He gave legendary performances, Super Bowl, Rock Hall, late-night shows, always electric, always flawless. But over the years, something began to change. Despite his healthy image, Prince began battling chronic pain. Years of high-energy performances had damaged his hips and joints. He refused hip surgery, partly due to his beliefs as a Jehovah's Witness. Instead, he turned to prescription medication quietly. Those closest to him say he never seemed out of it. He was always focused, always working. But some noticed signs, limping, wincing, fatigue, and Prince never complained. He continued to tour, record, and perform. His piano and a microphone tour in 2016 was some of his most intimate work yet. But just days before his death, something terrifying happened. On April 15, 2016, Prince's private jet made an emergency landing in Illinois. Officially, it was said he had the flu, but insiders confirmed the truth. Prince had overdosed on pain medication, specifically a synthetic opioid. He was given a life-saving drug called Narcan. Doctors urged him to stay for monitoring, but he left the hospital just hours later. Back at Paisley Park, he made a public appearance at a record store, told fans, "Wait a few days before you waste any prayers." He smiled, waved, disappeared again. Privately, friends were worried. They urged him to get help. They say he was trying. He was looking for doctors, considering rehab. But time ran up. On April 20th, Prince was seen pacing inside Paisley Park late into the night. He was alone. Early the next morning, staff couldn't find him. They searched the building and found him in the elevator, unresponsive. Paramedics arrived, but it was too late. Prince was pronounced dead at 10:07 a.m. He was just 57 years old. The autopsy revealed he died of an accidental overdose of fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid. He had no prescription. He had been taking counterfeit pills, thinking they were safe. No one knew. He had kept his pain and his method of coping a secret. The world was stunned. How could someone like Prince, disciplined, clean, private, fall victim to the opioid crisis? The answer wasn't about fame. It wasn't about excess. It was about pain, physical and emotional. His estate was a mess. He left no will. Legal battles erupted over his assets, music rights, and even his vault of unreleased songs. But the tributes poured in, from Barack Obama, from musicians across every genre. Lights turned purple. Cities mourned. Prince had left behind not just music, but a legacy of artistic freedom, of strength, of mystery, and of a tragic end no one saw coming. Prince was more than a performer. He was a revolutionary. He broke barriers in race, gender, sound, and business. He created a blueprint for artistic independence. He challenged the system and inspired millions. But even geniuses hurt. Even icons suffer. What really happened to Prince before he died? He gave the world everything but kept his pain to himself. And in the end, it was that pain, hidden, untreated, that took him away. Prince may be gone, but his music, his voice, his power lives forever.